Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to go through my reading notebook. And when 2020 hit, I really want to get back into reading. I used to read all the time in high school. I would go to the library and complain that they would only let me check out 2 to 3 books at a time. I was one of those people. And then with social media and college, and all the chaotic stuff that life brings, I just kind of lost touch with reading. So I started this reading journal in 2020 to try and reconnect with reading and get back into it. So we're gonna go through my 2020 through 2021 reading journal and see all the spreads I made and the books I read. Now I started this in 2020. You can see in the bottom I wrote all the books I read, which was about 20 books. And then I kept this the same for 2021 and just used the same. Because I didn't see a reason to not. And this over here was just fanfics I read, because I love fanfiction. I know I'm 26, it's just turned 26, damn, at this point. But I still like reading fanfiction. I like seeing all the new ideas that people come up with. These were books I wanted to read, and I think I got to one of them. You might notice that on the first video I have on this channel, it's a going over all the books I read in 2021. And at the time I wanted to be a booktuber, but I realized I don't read fast enough to be a booktuber. So now this is an art channel. First book is a fan fiction. I have fallen into a deep hole of Korean webtoons or manhwa, online manhwa, and I can't crawl out, and so I've been reading a bunch of these. This was a 2020 to 2021 writing challenge. I was just trying to write. Over here is just books I've been recommended and I just haven't reached yet. There's just a lot. I'm also trying to go through a backlog of 20 plus books I have. The Dragon Age series is one of my favorite series. I fell in love with the video games and they got me through depression, and one day I'll do a video about why I love Dragon Age. But I'm trying to get through the book series, which is just extra lore for the games. Here is part of my backlog, and I've been trying to get through it. Trying to complete some of the manga series I have. I managed to get all of Yu-Gi-Oh! I need to get Death Note, Full Metal, and the rest of JoJo, and I haven't even started on Sailor Moon Eternal Edition yet. Mostly because I have the 20th anniversary re-released at the Sailor Moon manga, the side stories, and Sailor V, and it seems weird to buy the series again, but the Eternal Edition is bigger and it has some colored pages and it's all sparkly. So I kind of like that. Here was another fanfiction I read. Most of these fanfictions will of course be Danny Phantom related. These are the books I read in 2019. I was doing a reread of Harry Potter before Miss Rowling came out with, her very unfortunate views. Fanfiction, Princess by Christmas. Some of these books, if you click on my first video, I'll link in the card. You'll see my more in-depth thoughts on them. But right now we're just going to go past the pages, and I'll talk about some of my ideas behind some of these pages. Like these JoJo ones, I was trying to mimic the feel of the series, but some of these just came out really chaotic. This was an audiobook. This is a gift from a friend, and I liked the book, but it seemed a little bit boring at points. I ended up giving it to a cousin who actually loved the book. It's one of her favorites, so. This is just a breakdown of how I use the star system. I tried one of those grid things where you fight which book was the best. don't think I'll ever do that again. I still need to reread The Mysterious Benedict Society, especially now that there's some prequel books out that I haven't read. It's one of my favorite middle grade series, besides Harry Potter. I started reading Vampire Kisses the Beginning. It is not the easiest book to read. It's first person, present tense, with our POV character is an unreliable teenager who is not like the other girls, but the relationship is actually quite nice and wholesome. There's no weird age gap, and I actually kind of like reading. It feels like if My Immortal had an editor. I mean that in a good way, by the way. More writing challenge. I actually do like the stickers I used. I wish Happy Planner would sell these stickers again. If you just heard a bang, that was, there was a lacrosse game happening across the street. And someone just, I think that was someone's car. Oh my goodness. More fanfictions. I've had this fanfiction in my tabs for, same with this one, for a year, and it's not that I don't like them. It's that thing where like you read a book and you like it and you put it down and you never get back to it because you don't want to finish. That's how those are. This is in my backlog to read. And then I stopped filling out pages for books I haven't read because I realized that wasn't helping me get books read. Regalia, the reason why I want to say her name is Regalia because I don't know how to pronounce that name. The reason why Regalia ended up at the Dick's Mansion has to be one of my favorite manhwas so far. And I'm so glad it's getting an anime. I'm like excited. Maybe we'll get some figures. I'll splurge on a Regalia figure. More JoJo's. Got into Fate, and I've been playing a lot of Fate Go. And pages like this, I was just trying to use up scrapbooking paper and resources because I wasn't quite sure what to use for this page. But I got into Fate and the whole Fate series, and it's been an adventure, and I got into it the wrong way. And you're like, how'd you get into Fate the wrong way? There's not supposed to be a wrong way into Fate. No, there is a wrong way. I watched the Heaven's Field movies first. Which, the Heaven's Field movies, assume you have seen. Because in the original game, you have to play through Saber's route, then Rin's route, and only then does the Heaven's Field route finally unlock. So the anime goes like that too. It fully assumes you have seen like another Fate series. You know these characters, you know the plot, you know the lore. I didn't. So when characters started dying, like really quickly, I was like, oh my god, am I supposed to care? I just heard it was the most violent, and I like violent stuff like Higurashi, so I'm like, I'll start with that. I am now going backwards and now figuring out why those characters' deaths were important. I made these pages because I just wanted to experiment. These were just influence pages. I have a lot of these pages are up on my Instagram as well, but this was for Danny Phantom, and I like how the page turned out. This cut's a little weird in the center because Vlad's hand just gets randomly cut off. But besides that, I quite like it. The next one is, of course, Beauty and the Beast, and I like the texture on this page. It has that canvas texture. Next one is Sailor Moon. I love Sailor Moon. This screenshot of her eating the burgers, just one of my favorites. So like there's always I know there's gonna be questions of, did you like Crystal, you know, the reboot? And I'm gonna say, not really. I'm not actually the biggest fan of the manga. I know that's sacrilegious. I know in the fandom that's very sacrilegious to say that you're not a fan of the manga. But I can explain. I like Usagi. She's one of my favorite characters. And the manga is Usagi's story. But I really wish, I really wish the manga would give us more time with any of the other scouts. The manga moves at a breakneck pace with 5 arcs and 12 volumes. And any development is shoved into maybe one quick chapter with a one-off villain. We're not given a lot of time with the villains either. And it's such a juxtaposition because the original anime was 200 episodes with 5 arcs. Actually, no, it had more than 5 arcs because you also had the Doom Tree arc in it. So it had about 6 arcs in 200 episodes, and we got lots of time to deal with to learn about these villains, especially the Amazon Quartet. Fisheye, I feel so bad. Fisheye shows up for 1 chapter and gets murdered. That's how it is in the manga. All the villains show up for a chapter and then just kind of get murdered unless they're the big bad. Then they get a sob story, and then they're murdered. Which is empowering, I guess. But we get more time with them in the original anime, and I know people complain it's mostly filler, but I would argue a lot of it's not filler. It's character development for people who aren't Usagi, because the manga is just Usagi's story. Everybody else is kind of just a side actor for her, and I feel bad. I like to see these characters. I like to see them in weird things, even if the episode's overall dumb. I do like to see them. I think it has the opposite of Steven Universe, where the filler episodes don't feel like filler because they focus on the other characters instead of the main character. And so I would always argue for people to please watch the original anime, even if it's 200 episodes, because you get to know all the other characters more. All the villains, even the weird ones like the Balloon Girl. This year has to be one of my favorite fan fictions I read this year. Ghost in the System. I forgot to write down Lady Abella's name as the author, but this has to be one of my favorites I've read. This next to my least favorite. I really don't like My First Night with the Duke. Oh my goodness, so many red flags. We Married Empress and Beware the Villainess also have to be some of my favorite manhwas I've read. I'm really hoping Beware the Villainess gets an official English physical release so I can buy it. Same with We Married Empress. I know it probably will because it's a webtoon, but this is I think a Tapas series. I'm also really addicted to I Am the Real One, and I'm hoping the manhwa has a very different ending than the light novels, because I found out what the light novel ending was, and I don't like it. Oh, this is a page. So recently, the author of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has passed away in a snorkeling accident off the coast of Japan. That man has really bad luck. I've never met him, but in the manga there are little, the author has a little panel on the side in which they talk about the recent happenings and how great they are that people are buying the manga. And sometimes he would write stuff like the time he got mugged, or the type he got cheated out of a gachapa game. And the man does not have good luck. But I love his series. I read through the final 2 arcs. Oh, there's that bell. I read through the final 2 arcs of Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle City Millennium World at a breakneck pace. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been near and dear to my heart. I got into fanfiction because of Yu-Gi-Oh! Some of my original story ideas were originally Yu-Gi-Oh! Fanfictions. And while Millennium World I think could have been fleshed out more, I'll never forget the joys I had just reading through the series and seeing characters grow, and I think that's what the manga has over the anime adaptation, is the development of some of the characters like Janochi and Kaiba. So I think Yugi got shafted for the Pharaoh. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. We're getting towards the end of 2021. And now we're on the 2022. This is technically a book I read in 2022, but my planning sometimes isn't there, so I wrote the 2022 one after I wrote the Spy X Family. I read this like around New Year's, so I just added 2022. And this is my 2022 books read so far. And then here's my backlog bingo. And you'll see the rest of this in 2023 when I am finished through. And you can see how much progress has been made in this notebook. I have a feeling I might get one more year out of this. I know that's optimistic, but I think I got enough pages here for one more year of book tracking before I have to get another one. And hopefully the spine doesn't snap in half from my poor abuse and habits of gluing paper in. But yes, this has been my reading journal. Again, if you want more thoughts on my 2021, you can view these images that I posted on Instagram or my book video I did a year ago. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll have a much longer, more art-related video coming up next week, and I hope you have a good day.